You've lived through decades of life. You've loved, you've lost, you've learned. You've raised families, built careers, survived heartbreak. And now, here you are standing at the edge of something new, dating again. Maybe it's been years since you've been out there. Maybe you're divorced, widowed, or simply ready after a long time alone. Whatever brought you here, you're carrying something precious with you: wisdom, experience, a deeper understanding of who you are. But here's what no one tells you about dating later in life. The game hasn't gotten easier. In fact, in some ways, it's gotten more complicated. Because while you've been growing, learning, and evolving, there are people out there who've been perfecting the art of manipulation. They've learned what works. They know exactly which buttons to push, which wounds to exploit, which dreams to whisper about. And they're specifically targeting women like you. Women with resources, women with emotional depth, women who've spent a lifetime caring for others and might just be vulnerable enough to ignore the warning signs because they're tired of being alone. I'm not here to make you cynical. I'm here to make you aware, because the difference between a beautiful second chapter and a devastating mistake often comes down to one thing: recognizing red flags before they become deal breakers. Today, we're going to talk about 7 red flags that older women should never ignore when dating again. Not the obvious ones we all know to avoid someone who's openly abusive or clearly married. I'm talking about the subtle signs, the ones that whisper rather than scream, the ones that good, intelligent, accomplished women overlook because they seem small in the moment. By the end of this video, you'll have a framework for protecting not just your heart, but your peace, your resources, and the beautiful life you've built. Let's begin. Red flag number 1. He's overly interested in your financial situation. Listen carefully to how a man asks about your life. Is he genuinely curious about who you are, your passions, your experiences, your dreams? Or does the conversation keep circling back to what you own, what you've saved, where you live? There's a difference between healthy curiosity and financial reconnaissance. A genuinely interested partner wants to know your story. A calculating one wants to know your net worth. He might disguise it as concern. You live alone in that big house? That must be expensive to maintain. He might frame it as admiration. You retired so young, you must have done really well for yourself. He might even present it as vulnerability. I'm going through some temporary setbacks right now, but I'll be back on my feet soon. Watch the pattern. If your dates consistently involve discussions about your investments, your property, your retirement accounts, or your insurance policies, you're not being paranoid, you're being observant. Here's the psychology. Predatory men targeting. Older women know that many of you have spent decades building something. You've paid off homes, you've saved, you've inherited, and unlike younger women who might have decades to rebuild, you're in a stage of life where financial security equals peace of mind. They're not falling for you, they're investing in access. A healthy partner will show interest in your life circumstances without conducting an audit. They'll respect your privacy. They'll demonstrate their own financial responsibility without needing to know every detail of yours. If you feel like you're being sized up rather than seen, trust that feeling. Red flag number 2. He moves at warp speed. Young love moves fast because you're both figuring yourselves out together. But when a man in his 50s, 60s, or 70s is talking about forever within weeks, that's not passion, that's pressure. He's calling you his soulmate before he knows your last name. He's dropping "I love you" like it's casual conversation. He's talking about moving in together, merging lives, becoming inseparable, and you've known him for a month. This isn't romance. It's a red flag wrapped in rose petals. Here's what's really happening. Genuine love takes time to develop. It requires seeing someone in different contexts, weathering a few storms together, understanding their patterns and quirks. It's built on accumulated experiences, not instant chemistry. When someone rushes intimacy, they're trying to bypass your natural defense mechanisms, your wisdom, your careful consideration, your ability to notice inconsistencies. They know that once you're emotionally invested, once you've told your friends he's the one, once you've introduced him to your children, once you've let him into your home and your heart, it becomes exponentially harder to walk away when the red flags start appearing. The pace of healthy relationships is steady, not frantic. It allows space for questions, for observation, for your gut instinct to weigh in. If someone is love-bombing you with intensity that feels overwhelming, ask yourself, what is he trying to prevent me from seeing? Red flag number 3. He has a sob story that requires your rescue. Here's a painful truth. Some men specifically seek out compassionate, nurturing women because they know your empathy can be weaponized against you. He'll tell you about his cruel ex-wife who took everything, his ungrateful children who've abandoned him, the business partner who betrayed him, the illness that drained his savings, the legal battle that's temporarily frozen his accounts. And because you're a kind woman with a big heart, you want to help. But listen to the structure of these stories. Notice if they all have one thing in common. He's always the victim. Everyone else is always the villain. And somehow, every crisis requires your resources to solve. This is the psychology of the perpetual victim. It's manipulation disguised as vulnerability. Real hardship exists. People face genuine crises. But emotionally mature adults take responsibility for their part in relationship failures. They don't paint everyone from their past as evil. They don't need rescuing, they need partnership. Here's the test. When you express your own struggles or needs, does he show the same empathy he's asking from you? Or does he redirect the conversation back to his problems? If every conversation centers on his difficulties, his pain, his needs, while yours are minimized or ignored, you're not in a relationship. You're being recruited as a support system. You've spent enough of your life taking care of others. A real partner adds to your life. He doesn't drain it. Red flag number 4. He's vague about his past. You're sharing your life story, your marriage, your children, your career, your journey. You're being open, honest, building intimacy through vulnerability. And his past is somehow always blurry. He gives you outlines instead of details, deflections instead of answers. He changes the subject when you ask follow-up questions. Basic facts about his life don't quite add up. Stories shift slightly each time he tells them. Maybe you've never seen where he lives. Maybe he's oddly protective of his phone. Maybe you haven't met anyone from his life, not one friend, not one family member. This isn't privacy. This is concealment. Here's what you need to understand. Healthy people with nothing to hide are transparent. They want you to know them, really know them. They introduce you to their world because they're proud to have you in it. When someone is deliberately vague, there's a reason. Maybe he's still married. Maybe he's working the same game with 3 other women. Maybe his past is full of bridges he's burned and people he's hurt. The specifics matter less than the pattern. If getting straight answers feels like pulling teeth, if your reasonable questions are met with defensiveness or accusations that you're too suspicious, if 6 months in you still feel like you barely know him, that's not mysterious. That's manipulative. You deserve transparency. You deserve someone whose life can withstand daylight. Red flag number 5. He isolates you from your support system. This one is subtle. So subtle that you might not even notice it happening. It starts small. A comment here, a suggestion there. Your daughter seems really controlling. She's probably jealous that you're happy. Your friends don't understand what we have. They're stuck in their bitter, lonely lives. Do we really need to spend every Sunday at your sister's? I thought we could have some time just for us. Slowly, imperceptibly, he creates distance between you and the people who know you best. the people who love you, the people who would notice if something was wrong. He might frame it as protecting your relationship, as wanting alone time, as being more devoted to you than those other people are. But here's the truth. Healthy partners integrate into your life. They want to meet your friends, know your family, understand your community. They recognize that the people who've loved you for decades are part of what makes you who you are. Controlling partners isolate because they know that once you're cut off from your support system, once you're questioning your own judgment, once you've distanced yourself from everyone who might warn you you're vulnerable, and that's exactly where they want you. If you find yourself making excuses for why you can't see your sister, why you're skipping book club, why you haven't called your best friend in weeks, pause. Look at the pattern. Ask yourself who benefits from your isolation. You've built a lifetime of meaningful relationships. Don't let anyone talk you out of them. Red flag number 6. His charm has an on-off switch. You've seen both versions of him, haven't you? The version that everyone else sees, charming, charismatic, generous, funny, the life of the party. The man who makes waitresses smile and strangers laugh. And the version you see in private, critical, cold, dismissive, irritable, a completely different person. In public, he's affectionate and attentive. Behind closed doors, he picks apart everything you say and do. Your cooking isn't quite right. Your outfit is inappropriate. Your opinions are naive. Your feelings are an overreaction. This isn't mood swings. This is calculation. Here's the psychology. Abusive and manipulative people aren't abusive all the time. If they were, you'd leave immediately. Instead, they alternate between the person you fell in love with and the person who makes you walk on eggshells. The charm is strategic. It keeps you confused. It makes you doubt your own perceptions. When you try to explain to friends that something feels wrong, you can't quite articulate it because most of the time, he's wonderful. He's just occasionally different. But those occasional moments are the truth. The charm is the performance. A genuinely good man is consistent. He treats you with the same respect in private that he shows you in public. His kindness isn't conditional on who's watching. If you're starting to feel like you're dating two different people, you're not confused, you're seeing clearly. Red flag number 7. He refuses to take no for an answer. This is the most dangerous red flag of all because it reveals something fundamental about how he views boundaries, yours specifically. It might start with small things. You say you're not ready to be intimate yet, but he keeps pushing. You mention you're not comfortable lending money, but he keeps asking. You explain you need alone time, but he shows up unannounced. He frames your boundaries as obstacles to overcome rather than limits to respect. If you really loved me, you're being unreasonable. I thought you were different. After everything I've done for you. This is manipulation, and it's a preview of exactly how he'll treat every boundary you try to set in the future. Listen carefully. A man who respects you respects your no the first time, without negotiation, without guilt trips, without making you feel like you're the problem. Your no doesn't require justification. It doesn't need to be logical or fair or convenient for him. It just needs to be honored. If you find yourself constantly explaining, defending, or apologizing for having boundaries, you're not in a relationship with a partner. You're in a relationship with someone who sees your autonomy as an inconvenience. This matters even more as an older woman because society has spent your entire life teaching you to be accommodating, to not make waves, to prioritize others' comfort over your own. But your boundaries aren't selfishness, they're self-respect. And any man worth your time will treat them as sacred. Here's what I want you to understand. You are not being paranoid by noticing these red flags. You're being wise. You are not being difficult by having standards. You're being discerning. You are not being pessimistic by protecting yourself. You're being realistic. Because here's the beautiful truth that often gets lost in conversations about dating later in life. You don't need to settle. Not anymore. Not ever. You've already proven you can survive alone. You've built a life. You have friends, interests, routines, purpose. You're not dating from desperation, you're dating from choice. That puts you in an incredibly powerful position. You get to be selective. You get to walk away from anything that doesn't feel right. You get to trust your instincts, even when everyone else says, give him a chance. Your intuition has decades of experience behind it. That uncomfortable feeling in your gut, that's not anxiety, that's wisdom. The right man, if there is one for you, will make your life bigger, not smaller, calmer, not more chaotic. He'll respect your boundaries, appreciate your independence, admire your strength, and add value to the beautiful life you've already created. He won't need to rush, manipulate, isolate, or pressure you, because he'll understand that a woman like you is worth the patience, the transparency, the respect, and the effort. You've spent your life caring for others. Now it's time to care for yourself with the same fierce protection. Trust the red flags, honor your boundaries, protect your peace. You've earned it. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you encountered any of these red flags? What helped you recognize them? Your wisdom could help another woman who's navigating these waters. And if you found this valuable, please hit that like button. It helps more women discover this content. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Subscribe to The Heart Code for more insights into relationships, psychology, and the art of protecting your peace. And if you'd like to support this channel in creating more content like this, consider super thanks. It makes a real difference. Remember, you're not too old to find love. You're too wise to accept less than you deserve. Until next time, protect your heart, trust your wisdom, and never apologize for having standards,